Hello, and welcome as we continue our journey toward the third Sunday of Pentecost, June the 13th, 2021. Today we will be looking at the Psalm for Sunday, which is Psalm number 92, verses 1 through 4, and then jumping ahead to verses 12 through 15. So let me begin by reading the Psalm, and then I will share with you some of the reflections that I've gathered for today. It is a good thing to give thanks to the Lord, to sing praise to your name, O Most High, to herald your love in the morning and your faithfulness at night, on the psaltery and on the lyre, and to the melody of the harp. For you have made me glad by your acts, O Lord, and I shout for joy because of the works of your hands. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree, and shall spread abroad like a cedar of Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be green and succulent, that they may show how upright the Lord is, my rock, in whom there is no injustice. In the Bible that I use, as an introduction to Psalm number 92, it reads, "A song for the Sabbath day." Now this psalm does not actually mention Sabbath directly, although it is considered to be a psalm of thanksgiving, which is good for the Sabbath as well as any other day of the week, I guess. Verses 1 and 2 read, "It is a good thing to give thanks to the Lord, to sing praise to your name, O Most High, to herald your love in the morning and your faithfulness at night." These opening verses set a positive tone for the rest of the psalm and remind us of the value of regular worship, even daily. The Hebrew word in verse 2, which is translated as your love, would more accurately be translated as your steadfast love, as we would read in the New Revised Standard Version on a Sunday morning normally. Steadfast means that God's love is firmly fixed in place, not subject to change. God's steadfast love and faithfulness become the basis for our thanksgiving and our praise. Yahweh, God to us, is to be worshipped both day and night, and it makes it sound individualistic. Although the addition of 3 musical instruments indicates that there's corporate worship, a band of sorts. Individual worship is important, yet corporate worship should never be neglected for individual worship. The expression in verse 4, "your acts, the works of your hands," is general enough that different participants in worship will think of many different things for which to praise God. If each of us were to count our blessings, we would likely name a number of different things, which is good. Sometimes in the naming of someone else's blessings, we are reminded that we too share that blessing. Then the second section of today's psalm, jumping ahead to verses 12 through 15, indicates that the righteous people of God will flourish. Interesting, at least to me, it does not list wealth and material possessions, which many in our society would gravitate toward as indications of flourishing. Rather, this section uses 2 trees as metaphors. The cedars of Lebanon were considered for their strength and used in building, and the palm is considered for vitality and its ability to bear fruit. Now, here in Florida, not many of our palm trees bear fruit, Yet palms can be known for bearing a variety of fruit, including coconuts and dates. Dates were very important for the people of that area. So flourishing in this section is not for personal gain. Rather, it is to provide strength, to spread abroad, and to bear fruit. We may call to mind that it is often the righteous who suffer, and consider that to be contradictory to this idea of the righteous flourishing. Verse 13 may help us to reconcile this apparent contradiction. It reads, "Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God." So the flourishing of the righteous is rooted, pun intended, in the presence of God. In an eschatological, that is end times sense, we are not yet fully in the presence of God. Although the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of the Apostle Paul tell us that we live in an already not yet paradigm. God is already present in our earthly existence, yet the full presence of God is not yet realized. The Apostle Paul describes it this way: "In this tent we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling." So this earthly tent will be put aside for a heavenly dwelling. The picture of flourishing, the flourishing of the righteous in today's psalm, is something we look forward to and for which we praise God in moments when we do experience that in this life. In Jewish tradition, the Sabbath was understood as a symbol of the perfect rest to come, like shalom. Christians do not typically have a Sabbath day. We might think it means Sunday worship, although that typically lasts for right around an hour for us, and a true Sabbath is the entire day. So, how many of us set aside an entire day of Sabbath to be in the presence of God? We're more concerned with doing and filling up each minute of our wakeful week with some kind of activity. To simply be in the presence of God that's outside of our comfort zone that's been taught to us by this world. Solitude and silence feel awkward because we sit and think about all of the things we could be doing. Even in our prayer time, we tend to list out all of the things that we would like God to do for us. And then we move on to our own to-do list for the day. How much quiet time do we allow to listen for God? Consider for yourself today what it would look like for you to spend time in the presence of God. Thank you for joining me today as we continue this journey toward the third Sunday after Pentecost, June the 13th, 2021. I hope you're having a great day. Take care. God bless.